Hello, my name's David Shanhun, and this is my guide on how long you should spend building your loops in a very simple, clear, easily understandable, and not at all complicated format. Alright, yes, this is a bit of tongue-in-cheek for this video. I had a lot of fun with it, but I think you'll also find a lot of useful thoughts, insights and information in it on how long to make your loop builds. Sometimes it's amazing to have a really long loop build and it's captivating and there's so many layers and it's very interesting and intriguing. Other times it just doesn't work, and there's a few ways that you can work around it, shall we say, but we'll dive into all of that in this video. And if you're curious, you can download that guide that just popped up on your screen, so that's available as well. As some of you know, this week is Patreon week for videos, and this particular topic was a request from Rick. Thank you, brother, appreciate it. Rick asked, one thing I'd be interested in is your philosophy around your loop arrangements. Some people seem to spend a lot of time building layers before they start, lengthening the song. Others keep it really lean and focus on just a percussion track that they may add to during the song. Just curious if you would share your performer's perspective on when you would do one or the other. So to start with, I'm going to use two examples to say there is no right answer to this. Chase Eagleson, in the Gorillas loop video that we did a reaction on, 5 minutes 10 is the loop build time before he starts singing that first verse. In contrast to that, we've got Jacob McCaslin doing Superstition. Again, that was one of the loop reaction videos I did, where it's 27 seconds and he is in, the song has started. I know they're different songs, they're different flavor, two different artists, but how can we say one is better or worse than the other? It's a little tough, right? Let's dive through 4 different situations where you might want to adjust and change your loop build lengths to be more appropriate. If you're playing a Saturday night wedding or a pub gig where you've got a full dance floor, people are enjoying, drinking, having fun, it's a great party vibe. If your next song, how you normally do it, has a loop build of even a couple of minutes, I think that's going to be too long, and you might find that when you look up from your loop build, you're going to see that everyone's gone and sat down. Oh well, you kind of lost the momentum that you had by dragging out a really long build. If you've got great engagement, you can chat, you can have a laugh, you can make jokes as you're building, and you can actually get away with quite a long loop build. But if you haven't got that rapport and connection, you're likely to lose your audience in that space, in that setting. If you're filming your version of a song or your own loop song for YouTube, I don't think any particular rules have to apply. Again, you'll get feedback. It's not going to be the audience sitting down when you look up, but you might find that people just drop off, they're not watching it. Instead of becoming intriguing and enjoyable, it's become long and boring. So sometimes just watching your own, recording yourself and watching that back is a really great way to gauge, do I feel captivated, do I feel drawn in, that something's going to happen that I should stick around and watch. You might be able to answer your own question on this. The third scenario, you're doing a ticketed show. This is your own show. People have bought tickets to come and see you. That's their sole reason for being there. And I feel like here we get to have a lot more liberty, a little bit like YouTube, but we have the grace that instead of like YouTube where some people are already following you, some people, maybe you, have clicked on this video and you've never seen me before and now you're watching, wonderful. At a ticketed show though, the chances are these people already know you, they've already looked you up. You're going to get a bit more grace to build something more interesting, to create and share the loop version that you want to of a song. Now that might naturally be short. You might do, I'm going to use Jacob McCaslin again as a great example, you might do some of what he does, and that is continue to build the loop during the song. So it doesn't all get built at once at the start and then just left alone. You build something as your bass groove, you put a few things in, some overdubs, maybe some harmonies, some changes later on in the song, and you do it that way. But there's a lot of grace here. People are there to see you and your show. Lastly, let's use the example where you're doing a background gig, like a Sunday afternoon kind of chill, lazy session. People are maybe enjoying your music, but they're not focused on you as the main performer or the main source of their entertainment. And I think this allows a lot of luxury again with building, taking some time to build some loops, get creative, you can put other parts in it, and you don't have to rush the same way you might on a Saturday night, trying to get a nice compact loop build so that the energy stays high and people stay on the dance floor, because they're not on the dance floor. They're just enjoying some overall music vibes, and that's what you're providing. Hopefully, by looking at some different examples and settings, you might be able to find the right vibe for yourself, the right time. And who am I to say what works for you? But that's really the key message I have in this video. Experiment with what works for you. Lastly, I really think this needs to be included, and it totally contradicts everything that I've said, but I think sometimes you have to just completely ignore your audience. You have to be true to you. Share what it is that you do. Play to your strengths. Ignore if people are enjoying it or not to some degree. And what will happen is over time, some of the gigs that you're doing, they may fall by the wayside. They may no longer require your services. That's okay if some of those fade away, because what happens is you'll get known for doing a certain thing, bringing a certain talent, skill and energy and vibe that is what you truly enjoy and what you're good at, and new opportunities tend to open up in those areas. You'll end up with other shows. So totally contradicting a bunch of what I've said in this video, but as I started out, I don't think there's any right answer, but I hope that this discussion has perhaps opened up some ideas, some thoughts for you in terms of how long it takes you to build your loops. And if you want some amusement, then go and download the sneaky and cheeky little guide I put together on how long to spend building your loops. Cheers.